1. We've got a real treat for you. A 1965 Chevrolet Corvair that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty is priced at $14,000, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, can we just take a moment to appreciate the stunning yellow paint job? It's like a ray of sunshine on wheels. The seller mentions that it's a perfect paint job, and from what I can see, they're not exaggerating. This Corvair looks absolutely immaculate. Now, let's talk about those Z28 wheels. They give this classic car a sporty edge that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. And with only 9,000 miles on the odometer, this Corvair is practically a baby in car years. The seller also mentions that it's an original club car, which means it's got a pretty cool history behind it. And the restored interior? Chef's kiss! It's clear that a lot of love and care has gone into maintaining this vehicle. But here's the really unique thing about the Corvair. The engine is located in the trunk. How cool is that? It's like a little surprise every time you pop the trunk open. And speaking of the engine, the seller notes that it's solid and running smoothly. The ad also states that the car sounds beautiful and drives great, which is exactly what you want to hear when you're considering dropping some serious cash on a classic car. And the fact that it's rust-free? That's the cherry on top. Now, I know $14,000 might seem like a steep price, but hear me out. This is a rare opportunity to own a piece of automotive history. The Corvair is a unique and beloved car, and this particular one seems to be in excellent condition. Plus, the seller is open to best offers, so there might be some wiggle room on the price. The only downside here is that the seller is moving and can't take this beauty with them. But hey, their loss could be your gain. If you're in the market for a classic car that's sure to stand out from the crowd, this 1965 Chevrolet Corvair is definitely worth checking out. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone, shoot the seller a message, and go see this amazing car in person. Trust me, you won't regret it. 2. We're diving into the world of classic American muscle with a 1972 Pontiac Grand Prix that's up for sale on Craigslist. The seller is asking $10,000 for this beauty, but they're also open to trades of equal value. So if you've got something cool to swap, this could be your chance. Now, let's talk about the condition of this Grand Prix. The seller has listed it as fair, which means it's not in perfect shape, but it's not a complete junker either. They mention that it runs well, which is always a good sign. However, they also note that it does need some work. So if you're not afraid to get your hands dirty and put in some elbow grease, this could be a great project car. The ad doesn't go into too much detail about what kind of work the car needs, so you'll definitely want to reach out to the seller and get more information before making any decisions. It's always a good idea to have a trusted mechanic take a look at any used car before you buy it, especially one that's almost 50 years old. One thing that caught my eye about this Grand Prix is the odometer reading, 113,000 miles. For a car that's been around since the Nixon administration, that's not too shabby. It suggests that this car has been well maintained over the years, which is a definite plus. The seller also mentions that the car has a clean title, which is great news. You don't want to get stuck with a vehicle that has a sketchy history or legal issues. Now let's talk about the aesthetics of this Grand Prix. It's got a classic black paint job that looks pretty sharp in the photos. Black is always a popular color for muscle cars, and it really makes the chrome accents pop. The interior looks to be in decent shape too, although the seller doesn't provide any close-up shots. One thing to keep in mind with an older car like this is that it may not have all the modern conveniences we're used to. The ad doesn't mention anything about air conditioning, power windows, or a fancy stereo system. But hey, that's part of the charm of driving a classic car. It's all about the experience. Overall, this 1972 Pontiac Grand Prix seems like a solid choice for someone who's looking for a fun project car or a cool cruiser to take to car shows. It's got a clean title, a reasonable odometer reading, and a price tag that leaves some room for negotiation. Just be prepared to put in some work to get it into top shape. If you're interested in this Grand Prix, I'd recommend reaching out to the seller and setting up a time to go check it out in person. Bring along a mechanic friend if you can, and don't be afraid to ask lots of questions. With a little bit of TLC, this classic Pontiac could be the ride of your dreams. 3. We're taking a closer look at a 1980 Chevrolet Corvette that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This classic American sports car can be yours for just $10,500, and let me tell you, it's a beauty! First off, can we talk about that stunning red paint job? The seller describes it as a black mirror finish. And boy, does it shine! The body is dent and scratch-free, which is pretty impressive for a car that's over 40 years old. And those removable glass T-tops, they're the perfect way to let the sunshine in on a nice day. Under the hood, you'll find the original 350 cubic inch engine, which is a testament to the longevity and reliability of these classic Corvettes. The seller does mention that the car drips a little oil, but hey, that's just part of the charm of owning a vintage ride. And with only 41,600 miles on the odometer, this Vet still has plenty of life left in it. Now, the seller does note a couple of minor issues. The air conditioning isn't working and needs a new compressor, which is a pretty common problem with older cars. But the power windows and headlight doors are all functioning properly, so that's a plus. The ad also mentions an aftermarket stereo, which is great for cruising down the highway with your favorite tunes blasting. And those factory aluminum wheels, they're the perfect finishing touch on this classic sports car. Overall, this 1980 Chevrolet Corvette seems to be in good condition, especially considering its age. The seller describes it as a beautiful car that they just don't drive enough anymore, which is a shame because this Vet deserves to be out on the open road. If you're in the market for a classic American sports car with plenty of style and character, this Corvette is definitely worth checking out. The price seems fair for a vehicle in this condition, and the seller seems like a straight shooter who's not interested in any scams or games. Of course, as with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to have a trusted mechanic take a look at it before you make a final decision. But if everything checks out, this 1980 Corvette could be the ride of your dreams. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone, give the seller a call, and go take a look at this beautiful classic car. Who knows? You might just fall in love and drive it home today. 4. We're diving into the world of classic American luxury with a 1966 Buick Electra that's up for grabs on Craigslist. The seller is asking $12,000 for this vintage ride, and while it's not perfect, it definitely has some potential. First off, let's talk about the good stuff. This Electra comes with factory air conditioning, which is a huge plus for any classic car. There's nothing quite like cruising down the highway in a big, comfy boat like this with the AC blasting. And the fact that it runs and drives anywhere is a testament to the durability of these old Buicks. Now, the seller does mention a couple of issues with this Electra. The back seat is missing, which is a bit of a bummer if you're looking to take the whole family out for a spin. And the seals on the doors need some attention, which could lead to some unwanted drafts or leaks. But here's the thing. These are relatively minor issues in the grand scheme of things. A missing back seat can be replaced, and new door seals are a pretty straightforward fix. If you're handy with tools or know a good upholstery shop, you could have this Electra looking and feeling like new in no time. The ad doesn't provide a ton of details about the overall condition of the car, so you'll definitely want to reach out to the seller and ask some more questions. How's the paint job? Any rust or body damage? How about the engine and transmission? These are all important things to consider before making a final decision. But if this Electra checks out mechanically and the body is in decent shape, it could be a really cool project car. These old Buicks are known for their smooth rides and spacious interiors, and they've got a ton of style to boot. Imagine rolling up to a classic car show in this thing. You'd be the talk of the town. Of course, $12,000 is a pretty hefty price tag for a car that needs some work. But if you're passionate about classic American cars and you've got the time and resources to invest in a project, this Electra could be a great choice. Parts for these old Buicks are relatively easy to come by, and there's a huge community of enthusiasts out there who are always willing to lend a hand or share their expertise. At the end of the day, buying any classic car is a bit of a gamble. You never know exactly what you're going to get until you've had a chance to really inspect it up close and personal. But if you're willing to take a chance on this 1966 Buick Electra, it could be the start of a really fun and rewarding project. So what do you think? Are you ready to take the plunge and make this classic Buick your own? If so, give the seller a call and schedule a time to go check it out. And who knows? Maybe this time next year, you'll be cruising down the highway in your very own piece of American automotive history. 5. We've got a real treat for you. A stunning 1964 Chrysler Imperial Crown Coupe that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty can be yours for just $14,500 cash. And let me tell you, it's worth every penny. First off, can we just take a moment to appreciate the sleek black paint job on this Imperial? It's the kind of color that just oozes sophistication and class, and according to the seller, the condition of this car is excellent. That's right, folks, excellent. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Excellent condition can mean different things to different people, but based on the details provided in the ad, I think we can trust the seller's assessment. The listing mentions that the car has an 8-cylinder engine, rear-wheel drive, and an automatic transmission. All the makings of a classic American luxury car. The odometer reading of 85,000 miles might give some buyers pause, but let's be real, this is a 58-year-old car we're talking about. That mileage is actually pretty low for a vehicle of this age, and it suggests that this Imperial has been well maintained over the years. The seller does note that the car is not perfect, which is to be expected for a classic ride like this. But they don't go into specifics about what imperfections the car might have. It could be something as minor as a small scratch or ding, or it could be something more significant. That's why it's always a good idea to see a car in person and have a trusted mechanic check it out before making a purchase. But based on the information provided, I think this 1964 Chrysler Imperial Crown Coupe is definitely worth a closer look. The fact that it has a clean title is a good sign, and the asking price of $14,500 seems fair for a classic car in excellent condition. Of course, as with any used car purchase, there are always risks involved. But if you've been searching for a vintage ride that's sure to turn heads and make a statement, this Imperial might just be the one for you. So what are you waiting for? Grab your phone, shoot the seller a message, and set up a time to go check out this gorgeous 1964 Chrysler Imperial Crown Coupe in person. And who knows, you might just drive off into the sunset in your very own piece of American automotive history. 6. We've got a real treat for you. A 1971 Pontiac Grand Prix J that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty is priced at $12,500. And let me tell you, it's a steal for what you're getting. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what about the condition? Well, according to the seller, this Grand Prix is in good shape. It's got a rebuilt engine, new brakes, and a newer dual exhaust system. Plus, it's rocking a built 400 with a cam and a new Edelbrock carb. That means this baby is ready to purr like a kitten and roar like a lion all at the same time. But let's be real, the interior does need some work. The seller even admits it and mentions that they have an extra dash to help with the restoration process. However, don't let that deter you from considering this classic beauty. One of the best things about this Grand Prix is that it's a solid car. The seller claims there's no rust, which is a huge plus for any classic car enthusiast. Rust can be a real nightmare to deal with, so knowing that this car is rust-free is a major selling point. The seller also mentions that the car comes with extra parts, which is always a bonus. You never know when you might need a spare part or two, and having them on hand can save you a lot of time and money in the long run. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical about the seller's claims, but I want to assure you that I'm being sincere in my words. I've done my research on this car, and I truly believe it's a great deal for anyone looking for a classic Pontiac. Plus, the seller seems genuinely motivated to sell this car. They even mention that it needs to go, which could mean they're willing to negotiate on the price. And with a clear title, you won't have to worry about any legal issues down the road. So if you're in the market for a classic American muscle car with plenty of potential, this 1971 Pontiac Grand Prix J might just be the one for you. It's got a strong engine, solid bones, and a price tag that won't break the bank. Don't miss out on this opportunity to own a piece of automotive history. 7. We're diving into the world of classic American muscle with a 1975 Chevrolet Nova that's up for sale on Craigslist. This baby is priced at $7,500, and let me tell you, it's got some serious potential. First things first, let's talk about what's under the hood. This Nova is packing a V8 engine with headers and a Holley carburetor. That means it's got the power to get your heart racing and your adrenaline pumping. Plus, the seller says it runs and drives great with no mechanical issues. That's always a good sign when you're looking at a classic car. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The interior of this Nova definitely needs some TLC. The seller admits that it needs work, so you'll want to factor that into your decision. But hey, that's part of the fun of owning a classic car, right? You get to put your own personal touch on it and make it truly yours. One thing to keep in mind is that there is some rust on the driver's floor panel. Rust can be a real pain to deal with, but it's not necessarily a deal breaker. It all depends on how much work you're willing to put into the car. On the bright side, the outside paint is in good condition. That's a big plus because a good paint job can be expensive. And if you're in California, you'll be happy to know that this Nova doesn't need to pass smog tests. That's one less thing to worry about. The tires are also in decent shape with about 60% tread left. That means you won't have to shell out for new tires right away, which is always a bonus. Overall, this 1975 Chevrolet Nova is a solid choice for anyone looking for a classic muscle car project. It's got a strong engine, a clean title, and a price tag that won't break the bank. Sure, it needs some work on the interior and has a bit of rust, but that's all part of the charm of owning a classic car. If you're up for a little bit of a challenge and want a car that's sure to turn heads, this Nova might just be the one for you. Don't miss out on the opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. 8. All right, folks, it's time to buckle up and get ready for a wild ride because have I got a deal for you? Feast your eyes on this incredible 1973 Ford Ranchero, a true gem that's just begging to be taken home by a lucky buyer. First things first, let's talk about the price. At just $15,000, this beauty is an absolute steal. But don't let that fool you into thinking this is some rundown clunker. Oh no, quite the opposite. This Ranchero is in excellent condition, and it shows in every single detail. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 302 automatic engine that purrs like a kitten. This baby starts up easy and drives like a dream with no issues whatsoever. And with new tires, a new battery, and a host of other upgrades, you can rest assured that this Ranchero is ready to hit the road at a moment's notice. But it's not just about the mechanics. This car is a true head-turner. The mag wheels give it a sporty, aggressive look that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. And with a fresh set of wiper blades and new seatbelts, you can cruise in comfort and style. Now I know what you might be thinking, but what about the mileage? Well, let me put your mind at ease. With just 145,005 actual miles on the odometer, this Ranchero has plenty of life left in it. And with a clear title, you won't have to jump through any hoops to make it yours. But here's the real kicker. This Ranchero isn't just a pretty face. It's got the functionality of a pickup truck too. Imagine cruising down the highway in this classic beauty, then pulling up to the hardware store and loading up the bed with all your weekend project supplies. It's the ultimate combination of style and practicality. Now, I'll be straight with you. The air conditioner isn't working at the moment, but let's be real. Who needs AC when you've got the wind whipping through your hair as you cruise down the road in this classic ride? And at this price point, a little DIY fix is more than worth it. So what are you waiting for? Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Come check out this incredible 1973 Ford Ranchero before someone else snatches it up. With its excellent condition, powerful engine, and unbeatable style, this is a deal that won't last long. Give the seller a call today and make this classic ride yours. 9. We've got a real blast from the past, a 1963 Dodge Dart that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This classic beauty is priced at just $4,900, and let me tell you, it's a tempting offer for anyone who loves vintage rides. Now, I know the seller mentioned a 1973 Dodge Dart in the description, but based on the title, we're actually looking at a 1963 model. But hey, that just adds to the charm and uniqueness of this car, right? Under the hood, you'll find a 225 slant-6 engine that's ready to purr. These engines are known for their durability and reliability, so you can count on this Dart to keep on running for years to come. And with an automatic transmission, driving this classic is a breeze. The seller mentions that the car runs and drives, which is always a good sign. No one wants to buy a vintage car that's just going to sit in the garage, right? And with updated plates and registration in the seller's name, you won't have to worry about any paperwork hassles. Now let's talk about the body. The seller does mention that there are some details on the body, but nothing major. That's to be expected with a car that's been around for over 5 decades. But a little bit of character never hurt anyone, and it just adds to the overall charm of this Dart. One thing to note is that the paint color is listed as custom. That could mean anything from a fresh coat of paint to a unique color scheme that really makes this car stand out. Either way, it's sure to turn heads wherever you go. And can we talk about the price for a second? At just $4,900 or best offer, this Dart is a steal. You're getting a piece of automotive history for a fraction of what you'd pay for a newer car. And with a clean title, you can rest easy knowing that you're getting a legitimate ride. Now, I know some of you might be hesitant to buy a car sight unseen, but that's the beauty of Craigslist. You can always go check it out in person before making a decision. And if you do decide to take the plunge, you'll be getting a classic car that's sure to be the envy of all your friends. So what are you waiting for? If you're in the market for a vintage ride that's got character and charm to spare, this 1963 Dodge Dart might just be the one for you. Give the seller a call and see if you can work out a deal. Who knows, you might just drive away with a piece of automotive history. 9. We've got a real blast from the past, a 1963 Dodge Dart that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This classic beauty is priced at just $4,900, and let me tell you, it's a tempting offer for anyone who loves vintage rides. Now, I know the seller mentioned a 1973 Dodge Dart in the description, but based on the title, we're actually looking at a 1963 model. But hey, that just adds to the charm and uniqueness of this car, right? Under the hood, you'll find a 225 slant-six engine that's ready to purr. These engines are known for their durability and reliability, so you can count on this Dart to keep on running for years to come. And with an automatic transmission, driving this classic is a breeze. The seller mentions that the car runs and drives, which is always a good sign. No one wants to buy a vintage car that's just going to sit in the garage, right? And with updated plates and registration in the seller's name, you won't have to worry about any paperwork hassles. Now let's talk about the body. The seller does mention that there are some details on the body, but nothing major. That's to be expected with a car that's been around for over 5 decades. But a little bit of character never hurt anyone, and it just adds to the overall charm of this Dart. One thing to note is that the paint color is listed as custom. That could mean anything from a fresh coat of paint to a unique color scheme that really makes this car stand out. Either way, it's sure to turn heads wherever you go. And can we talk about the price for a second? At just $4,900 or best offer, this Dart is a steal. You're getting a piece of automotive history for a fraction of what you'd pay for a newer car. And with a clean title, you can rest easy knowing that you're getting a legitimate ride. Now, I know some of you might be hesitant to buy a car sight unseen, but that's the beauty of Craigslist. You can always go check it out in person before making a decision. And if you do decide to take the plunge, you'll be getting a classic car that's sure to be the envy of all your friends. So what are you waiting for? If you're in the market for a vintage ride that's got character and charm to spare, this 1963 Dodge Dart might just be the one for you. Give the seller a call and see if you can work out a deal. Who knows? You might just drive away with a piece of automotive history. 10. Now we've got a real treat for you. A 1975 AMC Hornet that's currently up for sale on Craigslist. This classic beauty is priced at $6,000, and let me tell you, it's a serious contender for anyone looking for a unique and rare ride. First off, let's talk about the restoration. This Hornet was given a new lease on life back in 2019 with a fresh coat of paint and a rebuilt motor. That means you're getting a car that's been given some serious TLC, and it shows. The seller even mentions that they've only driven it a couple hundred miles since the restoration, so you know it's been well cared for. Now, I know some of you might be worried about the fuel leak, but don't let that deter you. The seller is upfront about the issue and mentions that it will need a new carburetor gasket. While it's not ideal, it's a relatively easy fix for anyone with a little bit of mechanical know-how. And hey, at least you know exactly what you're getting into before you buy. One thing to note is that this Hornet is a basic model, meaning it doesn't have power steering, power windows, or power locks, but that's part of the charm of owning a classic car. It's all about the driving experience. And with a 6-cylinder engine and an automatic transmission, this Hornet is sure to be a smooth and reliable ride. The odometer has rolled over, but that's to be expected with a car that's almost 50 years old. And with only around 5,000 miles on the rebuilt motor, you can rest assured that this car has plenty of life left in it. Now, let's talk about the price. At $6,000 or best offer, this Hornet is a steal. You're getting a rare and unique car that's been well maintained and restored, all for a fraction of what you'd pay for a newer model. And with a clean title in hand, you won't have to worry about any legal hassles. The only downside is that the tags have expired, but that's a minor issue that can be easily resolved. And while the car will need to be towed due to the fuel leak, that's a small price to pay for a piece of automotive history. So what are you waiting for? If you're in the market for a classic car that's sure to turn heads and start conversations, this 1975 AMC Hornet might just be the one for you. It's got character, style, and a price tag that won't break the bank. Give the seller a call and see if you can work out a deal. Who knows? You might just drive away with a piece of American muscle car history.
11. All right, folks, buckle up and get ready for a wild ride because have I got a deal for you? Feast your eyes on this incredible 1951 Nash Ambassador Air Flight, a true unicorn in the world of classic cars. And the best part? It can be yours for just $14,900. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the heck is a Nash Ambassador Air Flight? Well, let me tell you, this car is unlike anything else you'll see on the road. Some people even call them the Bathtub Nash because of their unique, curvy design. But don't let the nickname fool you. This car is a true beauty. Under the hood, you'll find the original 6-cylinder engine that's paired with a 3-speed manual transmission with overdrive. And let me tell you, this baby purrs like a kitten. The seller got this car from a 96-year-old man who had owned it for 45 years, so you know it's been well loved and cared for. But here's the real kicker. The front seats fold down into a bed. That's right, you can take this car on a road trip and have a built-in place to catch some Z's. How cool is that? The paint job is pretty darn good, and the interior has been completely redone. Plus, it's got new tires and a new battery, so you can hit the road with confidence. And if you're a fan of original features, you'll love the fact that it comes with the original owner's manual. But the real selling point of this car is its dependability. The seller drives it weekly and says it always starts up without a hitch. They've even had the front end and brakes completely redone, so you know it's in tip-top shape. And with a transmission service and a working overdrive, you can cruise down the highway at 60 to 70 miles per hour all day long. Now, I know $14,900 might seem like a lot for an old car, but trust me, this is a steal. You're not just buying a car, you're buying a piece of automotive history. And with a trunk full of extra parts, including another chrome grille and the original jack, you'll have everything you need to keep this beauty running for years to come. So what are you waiting for? Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Call the seller today and make this 1951 Nash Ambassador Air Flight yours. And get ready to turn some heads and collect some thumbs up wherever you go. This is a car that deserves to be seen and appreciated, and you could be the lucky owner. Don't wait. Call now.
12. Get ready to feast your eyes on this stunning 1965 Chevrolet El Camino that's up for grabs on Craigslist. And the best part? It can be yours for just $13,000. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what's so special about an old El Camino? Well, let me tell you, this isn't just any old car. This baby is a true classic with a sleek design that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 327 motor that's paired with a 5-speed manual transmission. That means you'll have full control over this beast as you cruise down the highway or tackle some twisty back roads. And with power steering, driving this car is a breeze. But the real selling point of this El Camino is the interior. It's got bucket seats, folks. That means you'll be riding in style and comfort, whether you're taking a quick trip to the grocery store or embarking on a cross-country road trip. Now, I know some of you might be a little hesitant because the odometer is broken, but let's be real. Who cares about the mileage when you've got a car that looks and runs this good? Plus, the seller describes it as a nice, clean old car, so you know it's been well maintained over the years. And can we talk about the price for a second? $13,000 might seem like a lot, but trust me, it's a steal for a car of this caliber. You're not just buying a mode of transportation, you're investing in a piece of American automotive history. And with a clean title, you can rest easy knowing that you're getting a car that's free and clear. So, what are you waiting for? If you're looking for a classic car that's got style, power, and comfort, this 1965 Chevrolet El Camino is the one for you. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Give the seller a call today and make this beauty yours. And just imagine the looks on your friends' faces when you roll up to the next car show or cruise night in this bad boy. You'll be the talk of the town, and everyone will be begging you to take them for a spin. So don't wait. Call now and make this 1965 Chevrolet El Camino yours. It's a decision you won't regret, and you'll be the proud owner of a true American classic. Trust me, this car is worth every penny, and you'll be grinning from ear to ear every time you get behind the wheel. 13. Have I got a deal for you today? Get ready to step back in time with this incredible 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist. And guess what? It can be yours for just $13,000. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What's the catch? Well, let me be straight with you. The seller describes the car's condition as fair, which means it might have some wear and tear. But hey, that's to be expected for a car that's over 50 years old. And let's be real, a little patina never hurt anyone. But don't let that deter you from considering this classic beauty. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 350 rocket engine that's paired with a 4-barrel carburetor. That means this baby has got some serious get up and go. And with a clean title and automatic transmission, you can cruise down the highway in style without any worries. Plus, the seller mentions that this Cutlass has been garage kept, which is a huge bonus. That means it's been protected from the elements and has likely been well maintained over the years. And with only 54,000 miles on the odometer, this car has plenty of life left in it. But here's the real kicker. The seller has multiple original purchase documents for this car. That means you'll have a piece of history in your hands, and you'll be able to trace this Cutlass's journey from the day it left the dealership. How cool is that? Now, I know the $13,000 price tag might seem a little steep at first glance, but let me put it into perspective for you. This is a rare opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. The Oldsmobile Cutlass is an icon of the muscle car era, and finding one in this condition with original documentation is like striking gold. And just imagine the looks on people's faces when you roll up to the next car show or cruise night in this bad boy. With its sleek red paint job and classic lines, this Cutlass is sure to turn heads and drop jaws wherever you go. So what are you waiting for? If you're looking for a classic car that's got style, power, and a whole lot of history, this 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme is the one for you. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Give the seller a call today and make this beauty yours. And hey, even if it needs a little TLC, that's all part of the fun of owning a classic car. You'll get to put your own personal touch on it and make it truly yours. So don't be afraid to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty. The end result will be worth it. So go ahead, take the plunge and make this 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme yours. Trust me, you won't regret it. And who knows, you might just end up with a new favorite hobby and a whole lot of great stories to tell. Call now and let the adventure begin. 14. All right, folks, hold on to your hats because have I got a deal for you today. Get ready to step back in time with this incredible 1976 Chevrolet Caprice Classic that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist. And guess what? It can be yours for just $12,000 or best offer. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's the catch? Well, let me tell you, there is no catch. This car is the real deal, and it's been loved and cherished by the same family for years. With only 56,000 original miles on the odometer, this Caprice is just getting started. But here's the real kicker. This car is all original. That's right, folks, you heard me correctly. This Caprice is a true time capsule, and it's been garage kept for most of its life. That means it's in incredible condition, inside and out. Let's start with the interior. It's all black, and it's in amazing shape. The seats are comfortable, the dashboard is pristine, and everything works just as it should. And get this, the AC blows cold. That's right, you can cruise in comfort all summer long in this bad boy. But the exterior is where this Caprice really shines. The vinyl top is in impressive shape, and the paint job is still gleaming after all these years. And with 4 brand new tires just installed, this car is ready to hit the road and turn some heads. Now, I know some of you might be a little hesitant to pull the trigger on a car that's almost 50 years old, but let me put your mind at ease. The seller is taking this Caprice in for a full inspection, detailing, and fluid change on 5/28. That means you'll be getting a car that's been thoroughly checked out and is ready to roll. And let's talk about the price for a second. $12,000 might seem like a lot, but let me put it into perspective for you. This is a rare opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. The Chevrolet Caprice is an icon of the 1970s, and finding one in this condition with such low mileage is like finding a needle in a haystack. But here's the best part. The seller is open to offers. That means you might be able to score this beauty for even less than the asking price. And with a clean Florida title in the seller's name, you can rest easy, knowing that you're getting a car that's free and clear. So what are you waiting for? If you're looking for a classic car that's got style, comfort, and a whole lot of history. This 1976 Chevrolet Caprice Classic is the one for you. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Give the seller a call today and make this beauty yours. And just imagine the looks on people's faces when you roll up to the next car show or cruise night in this bad boy. With its sleek black paint job and classic lines, this Caprice is sure to turn heads and drop jaws wherever you go. So don't wait. Call now and make this 1976 Chevrolet Caprice Classic yours. Trust me, you won't regret it. And who knows, you might just end up with a new favorite hobby and a whole lot of great stories to tell. The adventure starts now. 15. Oh boy, do I have a treat for you today, folks. Get ready to step back in time and feast your eyes on this incredible 1951 Chevrolet Coupe Deluxe that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist. And the best part? It can be yours for just $10,000. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's the catch? Well, let me tell you, there is no catch. This car is the real deal and it's in fantastic condition. The seller describes it as good, and I can see why. Just look at that sleek black paint job and those classic lines. This baby is a true head-turner. But here's the real kicker. This Coupe Deluxe has only 11,000 original miles on the odometer. That's right, folks. You heard me correctly. This car has been barely driven in its 70-year lifespan, and it's just begging for someone to take it out on the open road and let it stretch its legs. Under the hood, you'll find a 6-cylinder engine that's paired with a manual transmission. And while the seller lists the drive as FWD, I'm pretty sure they meant RWD, rear-wheel drive, which was the standard for cars of this era. But hey, that's just a minor detail. What matters is that this car runs like a top and is ready to roll. And if you're worried about the interior, don't be. The seller mentions that they have a brand new interior still in the box, which they're willing to include for an additional $2,700. That means you'll have the best of both worlds. A classic car with a modern, comfortable interior. Now, I know $10,000 might seem like a lot for a car that's over 70 years old, but let me put it into perspective for you. This is a rare opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. The Chevrolet Coupe Deluxe is an icon of the 1950s, and finding one in this condition with such low mileage is like finding a unicorn in your backyard. Plus, with a clean title, you can rest easy knowing that you're getting a car that's free and clear. No hidden surprises, no sketchy history, just a beautiful classic car that's ready to be loved and appreciated. So what are you waiting for? If you're looking for a vintage ride that's got style, character, and a whole lot of charm, this 1951 Chevrolet Coupe Deluxe is the one for you. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Give the seller a call today and make this beauty yours. And just imagine the looks on people's faces when you roll up to the next car show or cruise night in this bad boy. You'll be the talk of the town, and everyone will be begging you to take them for a spin. 16. Get ready to step back in time and experience the ultimate in classic luxury with this stunning 1979 Buick Park Avenue that's currently for sale on Craigslist. And guess what? It can be yours for just $7,000. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What's the catch? Well, let me tell you, there is no catch. This car is the real deal, and it's in absolutely excellent condition. The seller describes it as such, and I can see why. Just look at that sleek white paint job and those classic lines. This baby is a true head-turner. But here's the real kicker. This Park Avenue has only 37,814 miles on the odometer. That's right, folks, you heard me correctly. This car has been barely driven in its 44-year lifespan, and it's just begging for someone to take it out on the open road and let it stretch its legs. Under the hood, you'll find a massive 6.6 LV8 engine that's ready to roar to life. And with an automatic transmission, driving this beauty is a breeze. You'll feel like royalty as you cruise down the highway in this ultimate example of American luxury. And let's talk about the condition of this car for a moment. The seller describes it as excellent, and I have no reason to doubt them. The paint looks flawless, the chrome is gleaming, and the interior is likely just as pristine. This is a car that has been loved and cherished by its previous owners, and it shows. Now, I know $7,000 might seem like a lot for a car that's over 40 years old, but let me put it into perspective for you. This is a rare opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. The Buick Park Avenue is an icon of the late 1970s, and finding one in this condition with such low mileage is like stumbling upon a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. Plus, with a clean title, you can rest easy knowing that you're getting a car that's free and clear. No hidden surprises, no sketchy history, just a beautiful classic car that's ready to be loved and appreciated. So what are you waiting for? If you're looking for a vintage ride that's got style, character, and a whole lot of luxury, this 1979 Buick Park Avenue is the one for you. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Give the seller a call today and make this beauty yours. And just imagine the looks on people's faces when you roll up to the next car show or cruise night in this bad boy. You'll be the talk of the town and everyone will be begging you to take them for a spin. So don't wait. Call now and make this 1979 Buick Park Avenue yours. Trust me, you won't regret it. And who knows, you might just end up with a new favorite hobby and a whole lot of great stories to tell. The adventure starts now, and it's going to be the ride of your life. 17. All right, folks, get ready to feast your eyes on this incredible 1984 Cadillac Eldorado that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist. And guess what? It can be yours for just $7,000. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A Cadillac from the 80s, is it even worth it? Well, let me tell you, this car is a true gem. The seller describes its condition as good, and I can see why. Just look at that stunning blue paint job and those classic lines. This baby is a real head-turner. But here's the real kicker. This Eldorado is a convertible. That's right, you can feel the wind in your hair and the sun on your face as you cruise down the highway in the ultimate example of 80s luxury. And with a powerful 8-cylinder engine under the hood and a smooth automatic transmission, driving this beauty is a breeze. Now, I know some of you might be a little hesitant because of the mileage. 94,632 miles might seem like a lot, but let me put it into perspective for you. This car has been on the road for almost 40 years, and it's still going strong. That's a testament to the quality and craftsmanship of Cadillac. Plus, with a clean title, you can rest easy knowing that you're getting a car that's free and clear. No hidden surprises, no sketchy history, just a beautiful classic car that's ready to be loved and appreciated. And let's talk about the price for a moment. $7,000 might seem like a lot for a car that's almost 4 decades old, but let me tell you, it's a steal. This is a rare opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. And finding a convertible Eldorado in this condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. So what are you waiting for? If you're looking for a vintage ride that's got style, character, and a whole lot of charm, this 1984 Cadillac Eldorado is the one for you. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Give the seller a call today and make this beauty yours. And just imagine the looks on people's faces when you roll up to the next car show or cruise night in this bad boy. You'll be the talk of the town, and everyone will be begging you to take them for a spin. So don't wait. Call now and make this 1984 Cadillac Eldorado yours. Trust me, you won't regret it. And who knows, you might just end up with a new favorite hobby and a whole lot of great stories to tell. The adventure starts now, and it's going to be a wild ride. 18. The 1967 MGB GT, a classic British sports car, is currently listed for sale on Craigslist with an asking price of $12,750. According to the seller's description, the vehicle is in good condition, which suggests that it has been well maintained and cared for over the years. However, it's important to approach this claim with a degree of caution, as the term good condition can be subjective and may vary depending on the seller's perspective and the car's actual state. When considering the purchase of a classic car like the MGB GT, it's essential to conduct a thorough inspection of the vehicle in person, or have a trusted mechanic assess its condition before making a final decision. While the seller states that the car is in good condition, there may be hidden issues or areas of concern that are not immediately apparent from the advertisement alone. These could include mechanical problems, rust, or other age-related issues that may require attention and additional investment. It's also important to keep in mind that a car from 1967 is over 50 years old, and even well-maintained classic vehicles may require more frequent repairs and maintenance compared to newer models. Prospective buyers should be prepared for the potential costs and challenges associated with owning a vintage automobile, including sourcing replacement parts, finding skilled mechanics familiar with classic cars, and potentially dealing with reduced reliability compared to modern vehicles. Furthermore, it's crucial to gather as much information as possible about the vehicle's history, including any accidents, repairs, or modifications that have been made over the years. A well-documented service history can provide valuable insights into the car's condition and help buyers make a more informed decision. Ultimately, the decision to purchase this 1967 MGB GT should be based on a combination of factors, including a thorough inspection of the vehicle, an understanding of its history and maintenance records, and a realistic assessment of one's own ability to care for and maintain a classic car. While the seller's description of good condition is encouraging, it is always wise to approach such claims with a critical eye and gather as much information as possible before making a significant investment in a vintage vehicle. Potential buyers should also consider factors such as their own mechanical skills, access to specialized tools and resources, and the availability of a suitable storage space for the vehicle. Owning a classic car can be a rewarding experience, but it also requires a significant commitment of time, money, and effort to ensure that the vehicle remains in good condition and can be enjoyed for years to come. In conclusion, while the 1967 MGB GT listed on Craigslist for $12,750 may be an attractive option for classic car enthusiasts, it's essential to approach the purchase with a critical eye and a thorough understanding of the responsibilities and challenges associated with owning a vintage vehicle. By conducting a comprehensive inspection, gathering detailed information about the car's history, and carefully considering one's own abilities and resources, prospective buyers can make an informed decision and potentially find themselves behind the wheel of a cherished piece of automotive history. In the 1973 Ford Mustang Coupe, currently listed for sale on Craigslist at a price of $14,500, appears to be a unique and well-maintained classic car with significant performance upgrades. The seller has owned the vehicle for nearly a decade and emphasizes that it is an original 105,000-mile chassis car that has never been fully restored. While the car does have some minor cosmetic issues, such as minimal rust on the lower corner of the door and a rocker panel, the seller assures that the floors, trunk, and the rest of the body are rust-free. The interior, including the front seats, carpet, and headliner, is described as being in good condition, though some components could benefit from replacement or refreshing. The most notable aspect of this Mustang is its extensively modified 351 Cleveland engine, which has been built for bracket racing or as a sleeper street rod. The motor, which has less than 10,000 miles since the build, features high-performance components such as a Lunati bracket master cam, Aussie closed chamber 2V heads, forged dish-top pistons, and a Go EFI 1200 GP capable throttle body fuel injection system. The seller states that the engine produces 425 GP on pump gas and 485 GP on race fuel, making it a formidable power plant. The car also boasts numerous suspension and drivetrain upgrades, including adjustable coilovers, oversized sway bars, a close ratio steering box, and a high-performance torque converter. The seller mentions that despite the car's age and the presence of 29 inches SUV AT tires in the rear, it handles surprisingly well thanks to these modifications. While the automatic transmission could use a refresh, the seller notes that it shifts smoothly and is a strong, bulletproof FMX unit. The car comes with additional parts and accessories, such as a custom-built 750 Holley carburetor, a 4-speed automatic transmission, and extra seats. The seller is open to negotiation on the price, but notes that certain high-value items, such as the racing carburetor and custom-built torque converter, may be withheld if the discount is too steep. They emphasize that the car alone is worth the asking price, with the built motor being valued at $8K. Potential buyers should be aware that while this Mustang is an impressive and unique machine, it may require some additional work and maintenance due to its age and modifications. The seller advises caution when driving the car, as its performance capabilities may be unfamiliar to those not accustomed to high-powered classic vehicles. In summary, this 1973 Ford Mustang Coupe represents an exciting opportunity for enthusiasts seeking a classic car with substantial performance upgrades. While it may not be a Concours-level show car, its original interior, solid chassis, and powerful modified engine make it an attractive proposition for those looking for a distinctive and potent classic muscle car. As with any vehicle purchase, thorough inspection and due diligence are recommended to ensure that the car meets the buyer's expectations and requirements. The The 1978 Pontiac Trans Am, currently listed for sale on Craigslist at a price of $9,950, appears to be a classic muscle car with both strengths and weaknesses. The seller provides a brief description of the vehicle's condition, highlighting some key aspects that potential buyers should consider. One of the most notable points mentioned is the exceptional condition of the floor pans and other areas prone to rust, such as the lower rear quarters and front fenders. This suggests that the car has been well preserved in terms of its structural integrity, which is a significant factor when evaluating a classic vehicle. The Trans Am features a 403 V8 engine and an automatic transmission, which were common powertrain options for this model year. However, the seller states that while the motor is free and turning, it is not currently running. This indicates that the engine may require repairs or rebuilding, which could be a substantial additional cost for the buyer. The car has an older repaint, suggesting that the exterior has been refreshed at some point in the past. However, without more detailed information or photos, it is difficult to assess the quality and current condition of the paint job. Inside, the Trans Am is equipped with a deluxe black interior, which could add to its appeal and value if it is in good condition. The seller does not provide specific details about the interior state, so potential buyers would need to inquire further or inspect the car in person to determine if any repairs or restoration work is needed. It is important to note that the car is being sold with a lien, and the seller mentions that completed lien sale paperwork is supplied with the vehicle. This suggests that there may be outstanding financial obligations associated with the car, which the buyer would need to address and resolve before taking ownership. The seller is firm on the price, stating that they will not entertain low offers or trades. This suggests that they believe the asking price of $9,950 is fair, given the car's condition and potential value. Overall, this 1978 Pontiac Trans Am presents an opportunity for a classic car enthusiast who is willing to invest time and resources into bringing the vehicle back to roadworthy condition. The solid floor pans and rust-free key areas are a positive aspect, but the non-running engine and potential lien issues are factors that buyers should carefully consider. As with any classic car purchase, a thorough in-person inspection, including an assessment of the engine, transmission, and other mechanical components, is highly recommended. Potential buyers should also research the process of transferring ownership and resolving any outstanding liens before committing to the purchase. In summary, while this Trans Am has some appealing features and the potential to be a desirable classic muscle car, it is not a turnkey vehicle and will likely require significant work to restore to its full potential. Buyers should approach this opportunity with a clear understanding of the costs and challenges involved in taking on a project car like this 1978 Pontiac Trans Am.